We're making a pemmican-inspired corn and bison. Pemmican was an indigenous way of preserving food that you could take with you if you had to go out hunting for a very long time. It would be traditionally meat, dried berries, like nuts, often corn. So we're just really celebrating all of the ingredients that would have originally gone into something like that. Andre's gonna work on some bison later, and I'm working on the corn. Chef Joel has given us mandamin. It's a white corn, and I think tying it in with like the pemmican idea is really special.
So I'm working on our dessert right away.
So right out the gates, I start making a squash cake before I can start the bison because I know that will take a while. It's all about time management. I need to get this cake done like yesterday.
You got this, bud.
I'm working on our corn chowder right now, so I'm getting as much corn as I can off of here.
I am working on a corn fritter that's gonna go with our soup. I'm using corn flour, corn meal.
It's gonna be amazing. In the last challenge, I almost went home. The end is so close. You know, we're down to 4 cooks now. It's definitely gonna be a tough game from here on out.
14 minutes.
I'm just gonna take off enough for the first couple steaks.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just kind of trying to set things up for Andre because I know he's working really hard on getting that cake done.
How do you time this thing?
I get the cake in the oven and start working on that meat. I have to make sure those steaks are perfectly cooked. And then I have to make a great pan sauce.
Oh, beautiful.
I've come a long way. Before this, I was working in the hospital, doing my regular routine, and now I'm top 4 in MasterChef Canada. Being here is making me realize that cooking is where I should be.
Okay, how are we doing?
I'm good. I'm chopping the squash for dessert. Just gonna get a head start on it.
Christy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Chef?
What are you making?
We're gonna do a corn chowder, and we're gonna have little corn fritters that go with it with a little bit of a maple drizzle.
So how are you going to incorporate this beautiful white corn to your corn chowder?
It's gonna be the main, like, chunky components of the corn in the soup.
Have you ever had this corn before?
I have not.
It has that little note of smoke in it, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, it almost tastes like a tortilla.
So let me ask you, what is the dynamic like between yourself and Josh?
We're just sharing ideas back and forth. We're checking in with each other. I think we both feel really good about what we're doing.
You've got a lot to do. I'll leave you to it. Good luck.
Thank you, Chef.
Home stretch.
Come on, flip over. There you go. These are taking forever to fry. Cook, cook, cook.
With 2 minutes remaining, both teams must now start plating their first course.
Oh, you know what? I have to make that sauce. Beef stock and wine?
I realized I forgot to start making that sauce. So I throw some stock in and I start reducing it down. This dish is going to be the judge's first impression. It's do or die. I need to make this sauce in under a minute.
Dude, I'm just gonna start getting some of this down, okay?
Yep, go ahead.
Beautiful, Josh. Beautiful, beautiful.
So far in this competition, Christy and I definitely aren't known as the top platers, but we can cook. There's so much on the line here. It has to be perfect.
I think we're gold. Tastes good. Okay, I'm gonna strain it off and I'm gonna pour it in.
Awesome. This is such a huge privilege to cook for luminaries of Indigenous cuisine. I just really hope they like it. Amazing job, Andre.
Awesome job.
All right, round 1.
So what you have in front of you, from the blue team, is a corn chowder with smoked cheddar and corn fritter. And from the red team, a pemmican-inspired bison with corn. So please enjoy.
I am very, very impressed. These dishes look like they came from a professional kitchen.
The red team, the pemmican-inspired corn. I'm a huge fan of Iroquois white corn, and it's front and center. It was incredible.
I agree. On the red team, they've really done a good job with the white corn. You really do get the smokiness. Whereas I feel with the blue team's dish, the white corn is featured, but you don't quite get that from this particular dish.
The soup on the blue team, the flavor profile and the seasoning is a bit weak. I think it needs to be amped up in the actual flavor of corn, something to just give it another layer.
I think the red team, lots of flavors coming from the bison, but I would have preferred probably a little bit more rare.
Chef Wolfman, could you tell us your thoughts on the blue team's corn chowder?
The corn chowder reminds me of the soup that my mom would make. Very simple, but it tastes like home.
Now, the corn fritter here, you can see that the outside's a little bit dark and the inside looks a bit chalky, but the flavor and the seasoning is very precise. It really hits all those notes.
Who doesn't love a good hot chowder and a corn fritter? Gorgeous.
Go, go, go.
Back in the kitchen, the home cooks are tackling their second course. this time featuring beans.
I'm thinking like nice long strips like this will do. So for the second course, we're gonna have a wild mushroom dusted venison medallion on a warm bean salad with a wild berry balsamic reduction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Josh. We've got runner beans, we've got green beans, yellow wax beans. Let's use them all. I want these beans to be beautiful and mouth-watering. Okay, just a couple more of these guys and then we should be good.
All right, so I'm gonna grab the partridge.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna move on to the beans. For our second course, we're doing partridge in a nest of sour cherries and beans. We're hoping this plate tells a story of a partridge, you know, in its little nest. I like having stems on my beans. How do you feel about it?
I like them too. Keep it rustic, yeah?
Okay, cool. I like them all.
The bean is the main star, but the partridge is gonna accompany it. I gotta get these birds in ASAP.
I gotta move fast with these partridges because I gotta get them roasted. So I do not have time to cut this bird up into little pieces. So I'm just basically chopping it straight down into halves.
Ooh, that's a nice sound.
This is my first time cooking venison tenderloin, but you know, being from the prairies, who doesn't like cooking meat? So I'm just gonna sear them at really high heat just to get a nice crust on them, take them off, and then rub it in a dried mushroom dust, and then I'm gonna finish it off in the oven.
Okay, Chrissy, what's happening?
Hello, Chef. I am preparing our warm bean salad that's gonna go with our venison.
Okay, how are you gonna make these beans sing?
I'm gonna use some maple syrup. We're gonna
Okay.
use some vinegar.
Well, that's very Canadian. I love maple syrup.
All right.
Now, Josh, you only got 13 minutes left. What cook do you want on this?
Medium rare.
You need the time to cook the venison.
Yeah.
And also, you need time to what?
Rest it, Chef.
That's right.
Yep.
13 minutes left.
Thank you, Chef. I appreciate it. But it's definitely gonna come down to the wire. Okay.
I'm going to literally treat these beans as though they're like a steak and like butter baste them.
Oh yeah, perfect.
The treatment we're giving to the beans is to butter baste them to really kind of bring out their more like earthy elements.
I like them whole, man.
Yeah, no, I like them too. I love the great outdoors. One of my fondest early food memories is fishing with my dad. He passed away when I was 20. Being here and using all these really special ingredients and just seeing how far I've come, he would have loved this.
4 minutes! You only have 4 more minutes left! Josh.
Yes, Chef.
How's the venison doing? Come on, you gotta rest it.
I don't want to pull them out until they're exactly perfect, and I know it's not exactly there yet. Just a little underwear on it.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm coming. Start plating.
Okay. We are running out of time, but we cannot serve these guests and these judges undercooked venison. It has to be just right.
Okay, I'm gonna pull these out in like a minute, okay? It's almost there, so I'm just praying that this works out for me.
Josh, how's the venison doing? Come on, you gotta rest it.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm coming. Start plating.
Okay.
With 3 minutes remaining on their second course, temperatures are rising as the blue team hopes to serve their venison on time.
We gotta start slicing.
Yeah. Trying to give it as much time as possible to rest, but at this point I have no more time. We gotta get this meat cut and get it on the plate. It has to go. I got it. Just do the sauce part.
Okay.
I got the rest of it.
Oh, do they look good?
We got this.
I've never cooked a partridge before. I definitely do not want to let my team down.
Thanks very much, you guys.
Woo!
So the second course from the red team is roasted partridge with sour cherry gastrique and a bean nest. From the blue team, we have venison medallions, 3-bean salad, and pickled cinnamon cap mushrooms. Let's dig in, shall we? I think on the red team, just feels a little bit more sort of rustic and homey and simple. Counter to that, the blue team, I think there's some elegance to the plating.
I like the balance of this dish. You have the bean, still has this crunch. The berries provide the acidity, so one working with the other. Now, the venison is slightly overcooked, but still, for me, it's not bad.
On the red team, the partridge is delicious, lots of great flavor. The beans, however, you can see that they weren't cleaned properly, which is a problem.
For the red team, when I think of Indigenous hospitality, Indigenous food, I think very approachable. This is how we would eat it, right here. But the beans could use a little bit of work.
For the beans to be a featured ingredient, I think Blue Team really did a great job. I had to cut off the ends of my beans to eat them off of the red team.
Thank you for the feedback.
Last push, last round. It's all sweet stuff. We got this.
So with this third course, we have a squash cake with a tempered chocolate bark on the side. And we're gonna finish it off with some juniper pastry cream.
Way to already have the cake done, dude.
Yep.
We start big. Andre has the cake already done. I'm gonna get started on the juniper pastry cream. Like, Andre's gonna start making some chocolate bark.
So I'm using a brush so I can get the bark lines onto the chocolate.
We're still sticking with the outdoors theme, and I want this chocolate to look like tree bark. This is the third and final course. Everything has to be perfect.
We gotta get this cooled down quick.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Baking powder, baking powder. Where's the baking powder? The idea for this third course is to really celebrate the squash. So we're gonna do kind of like a play on a bread pudding using bannock. There's nothing better than a hot piece of bannock. Bannock is a quick bread that's very simple to make. You know, it's pretty much flour, baking powder, and water. Ready for this? See how this goes. Bannock is perfectly done when it's nice and golden brown on the outside.
Oh, that looks gorgeous, Josh. I'm responsible for squash, and more squash. So squash puree, caramelized butternut squash. Also a whipped cream with some birch syrup, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Yes, that's perfect. I want to eat this. I really want to eat this dessert. Oh my God. That is so good.
Oh, this cake is nice.
I'm gonna follow you with the pastry cream, okay?
Perfect.
I'm mega proud of us. We had such a joy of a time cooking together, and I think that really showed in our food and on the plates. I'm gonna follow you this way, okay?
I'd be extremely devastated if we lose this one.
Okay, so just over top, like that.
Perfect. These are so nice, Josh. Oh my God.
I feel like this challenge has been perfect to show that I can be delicate and plate well, and also that, hey, I deserve to be here, and I'm a force to be reckoned with, too. You thought these big hands would be using flowers, right? All right, thank you, guys. Yes. Good job, guys. Good luck tomorrow on the pressure test, red team. Boom, mic drop, I'm out.
So let's get on to the third course. From the red team, we have a birch and squash cake with tempered chocolate bark, candied squash, and juniper pastry cream. And from the blue team, a deconstructed bannock bread pudding with a squash mousse and candied squash.
Well, let's dig in.
What I first of all notice is the plating styles have flipped. The red team has gone with a more sophisticated plating, whereas I felt their bean course was much more rustic. On the blue team, plating is much more sort of homey and simple.
Visually, these are probably my favorite plates.
The blue team's plate, the squash in the puree, you can taste it. Candy squash, also a nice touch. I love the texture from the bannock. I just love the complexity.
The red team, at first I thought, gee, the cake might look a little on the dry side, but oh no, it was beautiful and moist. The flavors of this slightly bitterness from the chocolate was just absolutely wonderful.
I agree. I like the chocolate with the squash, something I never really thought would go. I'm really liking this.
Chef Mandy, what are your comments on the third course?
I don't know which one I like better. They did a good job on both of them.
You know, you're all our guests today, and I'm very proud. I think that they have really risen to a new level in the kitchen tonight, and you can see it with these two desserts, both extraordinary.
Andy, how you doing? Chef, I'm doing all right over here. So you had first pick. Do you think the carrots are the easiest vegetable to showcase? I think that it was the one that I had by far the most experience with. I cook with carrots all the time. What are you making? I'm gonna do some carrot ginger stuffed dumplings. I've got a carrot red curry with a crispy duck skin. And then I'm gonna do this delicious honey brown butter roasted carrots with Sicilian pistachios on there to make it look almost like a mossy log. I cook comfort food at home, so this is not the style food that I cook. So I'm just gonna do my best to be more delicate. So not only did you get first choice, you picked carrots for yourself, you also made the decision on who gets what vegetable. Yeah. Who are you trying to undermine? Everybody. Everyone's amazing at this point. It's very hard to trip anybody up. Keep it up. I think you're going in the right direction. Thank you, Chef.
Beets have a really strong earthy flavor, and so sometimes it's hard to pair flavors with them. But tonight's cook is gonna take every trick I've got left in the bag if I wanna make it to the finale. I'm gonna be doing a beet palate cleanser, which is a beet pomegranate sorbet with some ginger foam, charred corn, and just a little splash of balsamic. My second dish is gonna be a beet gratin served with an onion and pine nut emulsion. And my last dish is beet salad with salt roasted beets with smoked duck breast, goat cheese, and some sherry vinaigrette. Salt roasting beets usually takes at least an hour. So I gotta move super fast because I've only got 75 minutes. I'm starting to feel like I might be overstretching today. Oh my gosh, I think I've got at least 10 more things to do.
Okay, where am I at?
What am I doing?
30 minutes left! 30 minutes!
Holy smokes, I'm making a lot today. Both Andy and Taya are in exactly the same position. They almost got the title. They're former finalists. They were so close to it, they could taste it. They're both making dumplings. The difference, though, is Taya is making her own dumpling wrappers. Andy has chosen to use store-bought dumpling wrappers.
You're not gonna get the softness, so you gotta be very careful when you cook it.
There's gonna have to be sacrifices, and choosing the pre-made dumpling wrapper is one that I have to make. I hope the judges enjoy the big, bold Southeast Asian flavors. This could be exceptionally risky.
10 minutes! Only 10 more minutes left! Come on, get going! 10 more minutes!
Okay, that's super.
I'm trying to make sure that everything is in front of me so I can just get it all on the plate.
It looks like Chris has taken out his roasted beets and about to unwrap them to see if they're done.
I check on my salt-baked beets, and they're still not ready. If I don't get these beets cooked, I'm going home for sure, because that's the whole star of my dish.
I am really worried about Christopher.
I tried to reach for the stars, but I'm done for if I don't get this done.
5 minutes! You only have 5 more minutes left.
My beautiful plating plans have completely gone out the window.
I think this time he has bitten off more than he can chew.
I'm not going home today.
I did a brown butter honey pistachio crumb carrot. In the center, we have red carrot coconut curry, and on the far end, carrot ginger soy dumpling and fried carrot tops.
It's colorful plate of dumplings. It's got some crispy. I assume you got some pickles in there. So you got a lot going on there. It's very pleasant. When I look at it, I say, wow. Did you make your own dumpling wrap?
I did not.
Why not?
Rush for time, no excuse there.
Well, look at the fill. Looks nice. Andy, I'm impressed. You honored the Chinese dumpling. The filling, amazing. I taste the carrots, I taste a lot of the Chinese spices, but not overpowering the carrot, which is essentially the star.
This gorgeous looking dish of roasted carrots, it really looks so elegant. So you slow roasted these, intensify the sweetness.
Exactly.
I love the pistachio carrots, the way they're cooked. Beautiful and tender, just with a firm center, coated with that honey, the crackly, crunchy pieces from the pistachio. I would only like to have seen maybe a touch of vinaigrette made from the juiced carrot. It would have just sort of been the crowning jewel.
Yeah.
That is a class act.
Thank you, Chef. I'm gonna try the red carrot curry. The cook on the duck is pretty textbook. It's nicely rested. The carrot gets lost a little bit in that curry. The curry flavors are very powerful. I love the placement of 3 carrot applications on one plate, but I think it needs a little more carrot in the sauce. Otherwise, I think the dish is very smart.
Thank you, Chef. The first beet preparation is a palate cleanser. This is a beet and pomegranate sorbet. The second preparation is a classic salt-roasted beet salad with a little bit of smoked duck breast and a beet au gratin. And on the side, there's just a pine nut emulsion.
Let's take a look at the duck dish. I think the plate could have been a little larger. Would you agree?
I agree, Chef. I ran out of time for plating all of my dishes. I started plating when there was only 5 minutes left.
Are you happy with the cook on the duck?
Yes, Chef.
I think that looks very nice. The roasted beets shine through, and that's what you've achieved here in all its glory. Then you have this duck. I love that little hint of smoke. And then you get that goat cheese that adds a wonderful creamy finish, but just a touch of acidity that livens up things. This could be the first dish that tastes better than it looks. Very nicely done.
Thank you, chef.
This looks beautiful. You got a lot of techniques here. What is this? You roast the beetroot, you made it thin, right?
Scalloped.
Scalloped beetroot, so you slice it very, very, very thin, and then you cooked it, right?
Yes.
Good idea. What excited me was the scallop of beetroot.
Yeah.
And that worked very well. It's got very unique textures. The pickled beetroot, could have used a bit more of it, okay? This sauce with the pine nut, it's also quite interesting. Give it a bit of richness. I like it. You have a lot of things coming together, but maybe just slightly a bit too much. Sometimes less can be more.
Yes, chef.
Right now I'm working on my financier, getting the dry ingredients all ready.
It's like a pound cake. It's a little bit lighter. There's egg whites that are folded into it. She's pairing that with blueberries and a corn ice cream. I think this sounds actually very intelligent.
Corn and blueberries just kind of make sense to me. They both grow at similar times, so Mother Nature wants them to be eaten together.
Mary,
Hello.
how you doing? Are you feeling confident?
I am feeling confident. I'm confident with my flavors. It's gonna be tasty and different.
How do you feel about what Jeremy's doing? His dessert sounds incredible.
It does sound incredible, and it's a lot of flavors I've never worked with before. He has a beautiful, beautiful palette. I'm gonna have to run to the blast chiller, I'm sorry.
No problem. Don't drop it. I'm worried about this. She's got to get here fast. That's going to burn. Are you concerned about this at all?
No, this is actually doing exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay, good. You had me worried for a second.
This is just cream with a bit of sugar and salt, and I'm cooking the heck out of it. It's a brown butter crumb to go under my ice cream. It's really tasty, trust me.
How close do you think this competition is right now?
Super close.
Super close.
Like, super close. And I am feeling it.
I'm going to let you focus on your dessert.
Thank you.
5 minutes, you have 5 minutes left. Better start plating.
The whole competition is riding on this dessert.
Running to get the ice cream.
The galleries are looking in amazement right now.
They must be really jealous because we get to eat this and they don't.
1 minute, you have 1 minute left. Come on, 1 minute.
Come on, guys.
4 minutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
I made a blueberry financier with some brown butter crumb, some kettle corn for the plate, a blueberry sauce for the bottom, and a buttermilk corn ice cream.
Right, let's taste.
You know, Mary, the sophistication, really appeals to the professional side of me. But that popcorn, I want to dive in like a kid. All the flavors, they all come together. I can taste the corn, I can taste the maple syrup, the crunchiness, the different textures. So everything in this plate works.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Mary, this is truly a lovely little dessert. The actual cake itself has a sort of a humble quality to it, but with your presentation, you've been able to elevate it. The panancia cake has a little bit of a lemony touch to it. It has a little bit of that cornmeal, which adds a nice little texture crunch to it. Beautiful blueberries in there. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Everything works so well together. The corn ice cream is incredibly intense. I like the way you reinforced the theme of the corn ice cream with the popcorn. It feels like a road trip, going up to your cottage, stopping off, picking up some blueberries, grabbing some corn. Amazing. In fact, I'd love to have it on my menu at my restaurant. I think it's playful, it's intelligent. It's all those things you want in a dessert.
Thank you so much.
Chicken broth. I have made several things with pumpkin before, and I'm happy that I don't have the canned pumpkin. Just excited to get into the MasterChef Canada kitchen and kill it.
Gotta come through, gotta come through.
Parsley.
Eggs, cornstarch.
I truly believe Veronica wants people to excel. Canned pumpkins aren't really my thing. If I just had a raw pumpkin, I would have a whole plethora of ideas.
Idea right here.
I would be delighted to have a fresh pumpkin. I would be doing something grilled, something poached in a little miso. I think it just allows you to do a little bit more with it than just something that is more of a puree base.
I think Veronica chose fresh pumpkin for me because she does understand that I prefer to work with fresh ingredients. So I think she was trying to help me out.
You know, pumpkin is a very delicate vegetable. It's very easy to overpower it. So I would be happy if I got the can. The flavor concentrates, so it's actually almost, in some cases, a superior version to the fresh.
Gonna need a can opener because I got some canned pumpkin today to work with. Veronica.
I don't think April Lee realizes that I was trying to help her. Canned pumpkin has a real punch, whereas the fresh pumpkin is very subtle.
I'm not mad at Veronica for giving me the fresh pumpkin because I'm screwed either way. I don't know my way around pumpkin other than Halloween, so I'm pretty nervous. It's a really difficult fruit to work with. I think it's a fruit, vegetable. What is it?
Claudio, what would you do?
I would do an incredible soup with lots of cinnamon, cloves, ginger, maybe a little bit of coconut milk.
I would do some pasta, maybe a pumpkin gnocchi, flavored with a little bit of Szechuan pepper.
Sounds wonderful.
I'm making a smoked cheddar pumpkin soup today.
I've never made pumpkin soup before, but I was told by the judges that I have to step outside of my comfort zone. I'm going on my gut.
That's enough.
Hi there, Terry.
Hi, Chef Michael.
So you found yourself at the pumpkin patch.
I did, Chef.
Have you worked with pumpkins before?
I work a lot with pumpkins. We used to grow pumpkins behind our backyard.
Oh, back home in Nigeria?
Back home in Nigeria.
Oh, beautiful. So what are you cooking for us?
I'm making a pumpkin risotto. It's a meal I make a lot for my friends and family, and they all love it. It's gonna be amazing if it turns out the way I want it to.
It's coming along?
It's coming along.
It's about those layers of flavors.
Thanks, Chef.
I'm making a pumpkin cheesecake. For some reason, when I saw the canned pumpkin, I knew I had to go baking, and this is the first thing that popped into my head. Jacqueline is blitzing down pumpkin seeds, and she is making a pumpkin seed crust. Brilliant. I'm not ready to go home yet, so I just need to make this work. Bake, baby, bake.
April Lee, what are you doing?
I'm making a canned pumpkin soup, and I'm doing a beautiful panini with it with some roasted vegetables. And I made a pumpkin spread today as well to go on my sandwich.
It would have took you ages to start off with a raw pumpkin. You got a blessing when you got the tin.
Who knew a tin of pumpkin would be a blessing? Thank you, Chef Feldman. Thank
Good
you,
luck.
Veronica.
No problem, April Lee.
Can of pumpkin.
Making a pumpkin squash soup. I have some apple, I have some apricot flavoring. I don't know if the flavors are gonna work. I've never cooked in an elimination challenge. I've been pretty lucky with that. I have no idea if this dish is gonna be enough to keep me here. I'm fighting for my life.
Wow, there's a lot of activity happening here, Mary. What are you making?
I'm making pumpkin gnocchi with a blue bechamel. I'm not putting potato in there because I want to keep the pumpkin flavor up front.
Sounds actually quite ambitious.
We'll see.
You think Veronica gave you a gift?
I do think she gave me a gift.
Okay.
Gnocchi is in my blood. It's just what I do.
Thank God that I paired this with the potato because the pumpkin is a little mushy and the potato is keeping it together.
I'm confident in my abilities. I'm going to be able to make this work.
Mary and Jennifer are both making gnocchi, but it seems like Jennifer is making it with potato, and I don't know if that's a good idea.
5 minutes! You have 5 minutes left!
I know pumpkin is very fibrous, so I'm blending that puree like mad. I want to bring out the flavors of pumpkin because that's got to be the star of the show.
Oh, God.
Jacqueline is the only one doing the dessert.
She's making a cheesecake, right?
Yes.
Is it gonna set in time? A risky move.
I want this more than anything. and I'm never gonna give up.
1 minute! You have 1 minute left!
Oh my gosh.
My salt, where's my salt?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up!
I look down at my dish and I'm a little worried that it's not very gourmet. It's a pumpkin puree soup flavored with apple, ginger, sage, and pumpkin crostini.
Very interesting. All right, let's taste. Wow, I like it. You had the right amount of pumpkin, right amount of stock, and the apple complements it beautifully. You honor the pumpkin, and I like that.
Thank you very much, Chef Allen.
It's full, it's luxurious, and very fresh tasting. Just looking at the soup, how beautiful and bright that is. How smooth that is. Beautiful, beautiful soup. From its color to its taste to its texture.
Thank you so much, Chef.
This is a pumpkin gnocchi with a blue cheese bechamel and crispy sage.
All right, so let me try it. You have delivered. You know, you have the sweetness from the pumpkin in the gnocchi. You have the saltiness coming from the crispy pancetta. And the blue cheese, just that umph. Nothing's overpowering each other. You know, I love these little orange gnocchis because when I see them, it reminds me of pumpkin. I must say, you deliver what we wanted.
Thank you, Chef.
Definitely what I wanted.
Thank you.
Jacqueline, please bring up your pumpkin dish.
The challenge was to honor the pumpkin, and I think I've done that in the flavors. I hope it's enough.
It's a pumpkin cheesecake with a pumpkin seed crust, blackberry coulis, and a blackberry chantilly cream.
You don't look exactly over the moon. Why is that?
I think it's a little undercooked in the center.
So you think it's uncooked? Let me see.
This is top 10. Raw cheesecake can send me home.
It's not as bad as you think, but I would say slightly undercooked.
Okay.
This really tastes like pumpkin. You know what impressed me the most is your crust. I think it's a fantastic idea to make good use of the pumpkin seed.
I made a roasted pumpkin risotto with a freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano and about a pinch of freshly grated nutmeg.
So Terry.
Yes, Chef.
You got the fresh pumpkin.
I did, Chef.
Did that make you happy?
It did make me happy, Chef.
The pumpkin flavor is there. There's a little texture from the sofrito there. It's an interesting dish to look at. The flavors are complex. It's a great risotto. You know what you're doing.
Thank you, Chef.
Melted butter, half a cup. Desserts is not my strong suit, but it doesn't mean I can't cook a dessert, you know? I still have to make desserts in my house because my partner has the biggest sweet tooth in the world. So I make like one pastry or baked good for him a week. 2 eggs.
Hello, May. Hi, Mary. Thank you for choosing my dessert.
That was the one I was eyeing up.
What is your spin? What are you doing to make it different?
I'm just gonna play up with different textures. So I'm actually gonna be making a cornmeal cake because I noticed that you had corn on there. I will be making a blueberry mousse, brown butter almond crumble.
Delicious.
The almonds from the
Financier. Yeah, you're crushing it already. Yeah.
And then lemongrass buttermilk gel.
Choosing lemongrass, that's part of your roots, right?
Yeah.
Use a ton of lemongrass.
This sounds amazing. Adding the lemongrass in there is such a smart idea because lemongrass has such a zesty flavor, but it gives you that lemon punch, which is perfect. And cornmeal is such a great ingredient for dessert because it gives you that kind of toothy feel without it being like corn.
Hopefully it turns out.
I'm gonna leave you to it, okay?
All right, thanks, Mary.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks
Thank
so much,
you.
Mary.
My lemongrass gel did not work out, and there's still so many components that I need to work on. I have this idea that I want to do a blueberry mousse quenelle on top of the brown butter crumble and have it next to the cornmeal cake. I'm trying to make my quenelle, and it's just very finicky because the blueberry mousse didn't have time to set. I have to reconfigure my plating, so I decided to pipe it instead. So I chose Mary's dessert for inspiration, and I made a cornbread cake with blueberry mousse, corn custard, brown butter crumble, and an almond tuile. And for my palate cleanser, I made a lemon and blueberry granita.
So let's start with the palate cleanser. It's very fresh, very poppy. It's a great beginning to a dessert. How do you feel about the presentation of your dessert?
I like the idea of the presentation, but it's a little bit clunky.
I can see that here. It looks like you were cooking with a little bit of fear. It almost feels like you were second-guessing your moves when you were presenting this plate. But you know what? If it tastes good, the rest can be improved on. The flavors, May, really honor Mary Berg's dessert. I like that you made cornmeal cake. I love how the corn just subtly pops in. I saw lemongrass on your station. Were you able to get that into your dish?
My intent was to make a buttermilk lemongrass lemon peel gel.
It would have brightened everything up. I see where you were going. You've taken a dish and you've added your own style to it. I think you got a bit lost, though.
May! When you look at it, you don't see dessert. You see a whole meal. But it could be very tasty. The flavors go together, and the textures as well. The very soft corn cake, the blueberry mousse, got a bit of fresh blueberries in there to give it a bit of acidity. Very pleasant.
It's a bunch of root vegetables.
That's right, root vegetables.
There's parsnip, beets, ginger, sweet potato.
Drew some artichokes, celery root, turmeric, lotus root.
Nothing is more literally down to earth than these hidden gems.
You can do so many different things with root vegetables. Do I do Asian or Mediterranean? Immediately my mind just starts racing.
Come on. There we go. I am making a root vegetable soup. This is actually how I convinced my husband to let me do the cooking. He was known as the good cook, but this was the dish that sealed the deal.
It has sweet potato, turnip, celery root, and some golden beets. When blended together, they create like a super root vegetable.
It's a roasted root vegetable soup. And there's some sunchoke chips, a little bit of crispy pancetta for nuttiness, and pine nuts.
It's very, very pretty. I just love what you did with these sunchoke chips and these herbs because it looks really earthy. Let's give it a try. Wow.
Oh.
It is so good. It's comforting. It's got good balance of flavors. I got the sweetness from the potatoes. Fantastic job.
Yes. Thank you.
So, Christy, are you proud of this soup?
I am very proud of the soup, yes.
You've got the coriander seed. You've got a little bit of chili happening.
Yeah.
You've definitely showcased to me that you have a really great palate.
Thank you.
When you pureed the soup, did you add any dairy to it?
Yes, I poured heavy cream in there.
I would have added actually olive oil to it, because that cream right now is masking a lot of the big, bold flavors that you really want to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's amazing. Great job.
Thank you so much. Alyssa.
Alyssa, please give me lamb. Don't give me turkey, please.
I'm gonna take the turkey.
Thank God. Phew.
This is an elimination challenge, and 2 people are going home, so I need to step up my game. I am making turkey breast. I'm gonna stuff it with some butter and aromatics. I don't like turkey, and I was stuck with it, but that's what I gotta work with. It's a wild turkey supper with wild rice.
You're a huntress, right?
Yes,
Have you ever killed turkey?
I wish.
Wow. All right, let's taste the turkey. Should be the star of the show here. The turkey is very succulent.
Have you cooked wild rice before?
Just once or twice.
You know we're sending home 2 home cooks today, right?
Yes, chef.
You tell me if you think the wild rice needs a little more time.
Yes. The rice is chewy. The taste I took earlier tasted cooked, but I was wrong. These are so pretty. Look how cute they are. They're little babies.
Look at these beautiful little potatoes, though, right?
Yeah,
and these mushrooms.
They've got some wonderful root vegetables. They have foraged mushrooms. They have some wonderful game meat like bison and venison.
Look at this. Beautiful venison loin.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Wow.
There's an amazing selection of different proteins that we have to choose from, and we opt for the venison.
These beautiful carrots, roasted. We'll sort of go for like a hunter's meal, you know?
Oh yeah, totally
Elevated.
a hunter's meal, yeah.
Totally elevated hunter's meal. The story just makes sense already. Hunter's meal perfectly fits the setting that we're in.
I think this is like we have the ribeye, so this is the ribeye, right?
I can't be from Alberta and not choose the bison to work with today. Taya's from the West Coast, so we see that scallops are available to us, and we're like, what if we do a surf and turf? Alberta meets BC. Perfect, right?
Do you want to go with figs? Figs and red wine.
Yeah, figs, red wine. Good.
We kind of split our duties 50-50. I'm handling all the veg and the garnish, and Barry's handling the protein and the wine sauce.
I'm not going to intrude on his area. He's not going to intrude on mine. Absolute trust over what the other one is doing. These are beauty, Trev. Look at this.
Oh, man. They look delicious.
You could hear a pin drop in this kitchen. You guys are in the zone. You have a lot of vegetable work happening here, right?
Yes, chef. Some beautiful chanterelles, really nice rainbow carrots. We're doing some baby red potatoes roasted off in some duck fat. I'm gonna be the veg guy, and Barry's gonna take care of the meat and the sauce.
Let me ask you something here. Are you going to cook the venison in individual portions or as a loin?
As a loin. The cook on it's going to be perfect. I've cooked venison a couple of times before.
Wow. Keep cooking.
Absolutely, chef.
All right.
Thank you, chef.
Thank you.
I can cook protein like nobody's business.
When I went to visit Barry and Trevor, I noticed that they were cooking the venison loins whole.
I would have rather cooked individual portions. I think it's so much easier to cook, manage, and get that perfect cook on it than having to slice and then plate slices.
I would agree with you. You're going to get a much better result when you cut them into the portions that you want.
I want the perfect cook on both the venison and that bison. Top 4, I expect that.
Mine has a sear on it. This one has a sear.
One of the biggest challenges with the blue team, though, is they pick scallops and bison. Those 2 proteins cook at very different times.
Hey, this dish is not going to be simple to execute. Timing is going to be crucial.
I need to get these steaks seared. I need to sear the scallops, roast the cauliflower, and that's a lot to do. So I'm hoping I can finish my demi-glaze in 20 minutes.
I'm just gonna add some herbs to it. How about we throw garlic in there? I don't think you should put raw garlic in there right now.
I know what I want to put in it, but May disagrees with me.
I think I can use some more raw wine to be honest with you, some more red wine. I'll do it.
Honestly, I think it needs some more like herbs and something like a little bit more flavorful than it just.
I need to help her. I need to push her in the right direction.
Yeah, just add a little bit of that.
This?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so hard to trust your gut when you have to talk to somebody else about it.
Over in the red kitchen, Barry has no doubts about his wine sauce.
I think I know more about wine than the average person. I truly believe I'm the right guy to be doing a red wine sauce. Now we're cooking.
The wine sauce ties our entire dish together. Barry is nailing it. I wouldn't change a thing right now. The worst thing that could happen is old man Barry has a stroke or something, and I gotta do the meat and the veggies.
Guys, how you doing?
Good, Chef Alvin.
Okay,
Really
what do
good.
you mean good? What do you mean
Really
good?
good.
You got the sauce? Let me give you a hint, okay? Sometimes, especially when you use wine, get this really kind of dry aftertaste in your tongue.
Yeah.
Are you getting that?
A little bit.
That's not what you want.
Yes,
you
Chef.
don't want that aftertaste.
No, Chef.
Okay, so think. Use your mind. What would you do? You know, you have acids, you have base. How you do balance. Good luck.
Thank you, Chef. Without the sauce, the plate is nothing. If I don't perfect this, we're going into the pressure test. I'm still working on this bloody sauce. And I'm thinking, the sauce is not going to win. I'm going to win. balsamic.
Are you sure?
A little bit, just a hint.
What is that? We'll add a quarter teaspoon at a time.
I think we can cut the bitter aftertaste with acid.
Just constantly, just keep tasting, keep tasting. The sauce situation is stressing me out.
One more quarter.
If we don't nail this sauce, we're not gonna win this challenge.
Now let's see where we're at. Beautiful. It's gold. Absolute relief.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it a lot.
5 minutes, you have 5 minutes left.
And that went by fast.
We want to see beautiful plates, 12 of them.
There's a lot of moving parts to the blue team and the red team's dish. And there's only 2 cooks on each team. It's gonna be challenging.
We're moving, we're moving. Our steaks are cooked nicely. All of our flavors taste really good. Our sauce worked out. I'm so glad we're not putting the scallop on the dish.
No surf and turf for us. It is just turf. It's just gonna be turf now, but it's still gonna be delicious.
Our dish is coming together exactly how we planned. Almost make like a half moon with the mushroom and the 2 potatoes, right? And then I'll follow in behind with the carrots.
I'm really hoping that the families enjoy the meals that we put out for them. We really cooked with our hearts, and our flavors are there.
The fact that my family's tasting my food, it's crazy. I'm more nervous of our family trying the food than the judges.
I have no regrets. This is the most pride that I've felt since I've been here. Barry, servers are coming.
I've been together with my wife for 11 years, and this is the best meal I've ever made her.
Take them away.
MasterChef Canada families, I think you'll be impressed with how much you've been able to motivate your home cooks today. From the red team, we have a hunter-style dinner. Venison with red wine plum sauce, baby potatoes cooked in duck fat, chanterelle mushrooms, and rainbow carrots. Sounds delicious, huh? And from the blue team, we have grilled ribeye of bison with fig demi-glaze served alongside a truffled potato puree and roasted cauliflower.
Let's eat!
The families have no idea which dish was cooked by their loved ones, and their feedback will help the judges decide the winning team.
The one thing that pops out for me on the red team is the vegetables. They are done with so much care, very elevated. The meat, on the other hand, has some challenges. There's 2 different thicknesses here. You have a thick piece, which is rare, and a thin piece, which is medium. That's not good. It's totally inconsistent. Look at the difference.
You know, I don't want 2 layers of doneness on the same plate. I want them to be exactly the same.
The sauce, rich, full of flavor, has the right balance, and goes incredibly well with the venison.
Now let's move on to the blue team.
There's no sea scallop on this plate. We were promised a surf and turf, and we just got turf.
I have a feeling that they didn't put it on the plate because it wasn't good enough, and we have told them that from day 1. If it's not great, do not put it on a plate.
Beautiful potatoes, nice and smooth. It's not lumpy. It's got nice and...
That's the money.
Yeah.
Velvety. The cauliflower is wonderful. It's nutty.
It's perfectly roasted. Okay? And that's not easy.
How is the cook on your bison?
Mine is rare. Yours is rare.
Mine is well done. I do not like my bison cooked this way.
I think all things considered, when it comes to the cook on both the venison and that bison, they're pretty even.
So how do you feel about the food, families?
It's amazing when both plates were put in front of us. The presentation was just magnificent.
I thought they were both very well done. Usually the meat is the focus, but it seems that the vegetables almost stole the show.
The mashed potato truffles on the blue plate is wonderful. Overall, to me, the meat on the red team and that sauce was to die for.
This is it. This is the final dish of the day. It's our make it or break it.
I have a lot of elements in this dessert. Ice cream, coconut, a rum sauce, a crumble. It's just a lot to do.
And Marita, she's doing a apple crumble with a coconut ice cream.
I think her strategy is actually very smart. Classic dessert done properly could potentially win.
It sounds much more straightforward.
Well, there you go, the tortoise and the hare scenario again.
Slow and steady wins the race, Marita.
She's not peeling her apples, which I think is...
Bad idea.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be as refined.
Marita, I see you've left the skin on.
I think it looks beautiful for the presentation. They're so thin that it doesn't even affect you.
Good luck. Keep an eye on the time.
In order to make ice cream in such a short time frame, the home cooks are using liquid nitrogen.
Here we go.
The temperature of this clear fluid is so low that it instantly freezes the ice cream ingredients as soon as it comes in contact with them.
If you don't incorporate it fast enough while you're pouring the nitrogen in, you're going to end up with a rock. Can I take a look?
It's just starting to freeze.
Okay, you need more nitrogen in there. That will not set.
Nice, Mark. Woo! You got this, girl.
This is amazing.
She's looking confident. Very confident.
30 seconds!
Oh, that's so good!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up!
Can you tell us about your dessert, please?
I have apple crumble with coconut ice cream, a warm rum sauce, and some coconut dust on the plate.
Looks good. Let's taste. Lots of good flavors there. The ice cream itself, it is that big hit of coconut. The rum sauce, you get that hit of rum. It's not too sweet. The crumble itself, crisp, crunchy, nuts toasted beautifully. The skin on the apple. I think it would have had a lot more finesse had you removed it.
The ice cream is textbook. It has a great mouthfeel. It's rich. The apples have a wonderful, wonderful flavor. Absolute winner. So great job.
Thanks.
You seem to have this fence here. And I'm saying, are you doing 2 desserts? Does it work? It does. It certainly does. Coconut dust provides a nice texture. Ice cream, bang on. I love this dessert.
Thank you, Chef.
Beautiful.